Hey everyone, Thinkifer here, and oh dear me, does Tinkaton have some dark lore, what with hunting down Corviknights by launching rocks at them, Tiger Woods style. But just how powerful is this Pokemon? Specifically, how much force is this cute little pink destruction goddess packing behind that hammer each time it swings it with its mighty mittens? Well, we can actually go about this two different ways, but let's start with what we know about Tinkaton. To get to the bottom of this exercise in Newtonian physics, we need to reach the point we can use the equation force equals mass times acceleration. But to do this though, we need very specific things. Things like height, weight, distance traveled, and a bunch of other things, some of which will require approximations. Thankfully, we do have some actual information on the hammer to go off. According to Dex entries and official sources like Bulbapedia, Tinkaton's hammer weighs upwards of 100 kilograms or more. So let's put a hard upper limit on the weight and say it's just roughly 200 kilograms at most. Great, cool, so we've deduced that this chaotic evil steel fairy Pokemon's got a golf club that weighs more than a baby elephant. If we take this Scarlet and Violet exclusive Pokemon's hunting habits of taking out Corviknights pro golf player style, and actually use the average speed of a pro golf player as something to go off, we get an average speed of 200 kilometers an hour. Now we're talking 200 kilos of mass reaching a final velocity of 200 kilometers at the impact point of whatever rock it's about to launch at the poor dear old Corviknight. Fabulous. Now that we have this, we can calculate the hammer's acceleration, but the wrinkle here is that we don't know how much time the hammer was in motion for. So I guess let's just take the attack animation from Tinkaton's signature Pokemon move, Gigaton Hammer, and use that as an estimation. Of course, it's an approximation, but an approximation of 1/10 of a second. But we can work with this, because now I end up with an acceleration value of the hammer swing of 2 million meters per second squared, which, yep, that's pretty dang fast. But what's more impressive is that now we get to the good part. Calculating the raw, unrestrained fairy might behind that golf swing using dear old force equals mass times acceleration, netting us a total power value of 400 million newtons, which is actually a very interesting number because it's the equivalent force output of 100 kilograms of TNT, which is oddly specific because that actually checks out on so many levels. Tinkaton is the Corviknight Buster. Corviknight is protected by layers of steel across its body. Now, sea mines were often deployed with a TNT equivalent of 100 kilograms of TNT, and these bad boys blast through thick steel hulls of warships. Neato, I guess even on a scientific point, Tinkaton actually really can blast through the steel shell of a flying bird that is basically a steel flying fortress akin to a naval warship's own defenses. I guess Tinkaton's science checks out then. But then there's the elephant in the room, Tinkaton's signature move, Gigaton Hammer. Okay, look, let me skip all the math, assumptions, approximations, and just tell you that giga means a billion of something, and a ton is 1,000 kilograms, so in short, the name basically implies 1 trillion kilogram hammer. Yeah, Thor and Link definitely would be envious of this fairy's hammer, but just how destructive is this move? What ungodly power number are we left with if we humor this? Well, brace yourselves, because putting this back into the same equation as before, using the acceleration based off the average professional golf clubber's swing, we now arrive at 200 quadrillion newtons. Yeah, that number is kinda hard to fit on the screen, and yes, it's way worse when we try to convert this power output into the equivalent of tons in TNT. We're talking about 47,801,147 tons of TNT. That is straight up 47.8 billion kilograms of TNT. Look, for perspective, Hiroshima's atomic bomb was roughly 16,000 tons of TNT equivalent in power. We're talking about a hammer-driven signature move that's got an impact value comparable to 2,987 atomic bombs the size of the one dropped on Hiroshima, all going off at the same time. Oh my god, this move would utterly destroy Paldea and almost everything else around it, scarring the lands forever and leaving the region in completely unrecognizable ruins, and rock the very foundations of life around the entire Pokemon planet's ecosystem. Like, forget Corviknight being taken out of the sky, heck, forget Bombardier even. This demon fairy Tinkaton is the death of everything in Paldea and quite possibly the most heaviest hitter in Scarlet and Violet. Now, I've had a ton of fun crunching numbers, Fermi approximating, and please take all of this as a fun little thought experiment, what if, and with a grain of salt, because this video had a ton of assumptions to go off in leapfrogging into ballparking such a crazy result, but nonetheless, I had fun exploring, and if you have thoughts of your own or math of your own, feel free to tell me in the comments below.
Thinkers, if you enjoyed this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments below and hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to support the channel's content monetarily, you can join as a member on Patreon or join on YouTube. Both will get your name in the credits and behind the scenes access. Now, before I head out, be sure to share some of that love and support around at my partner's Instagram at ElfSpringArt.
Additionally, Elfie is now open for commissions publicly, so if you want something created, again, head down to their Instagram page.
Give them a follow. Love ya, Elfie! Thinkers, have a big-brained, funky day, and be sure to think safe out there. Bye-bye!